Hocus Pocus 2 is the 29-year long-awaited follow-up to the movie that lit the hearts of children in the 90s on fire, which probably sounds delicious to the Sanderson Sisters. Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, and Sarah Jessica Parker return as the fish-out-of-water witch trio, and it's actually a good follow-up. It's got its own new story with new teen characters and exactly the antics you'd expect from the Witch Three Stooges. It's got a lot more backstory and heart, and maybe, just maybe, this isn't the last we'll see of the Sandersons. I'll tell you where this story could go, but first I'm setting the scene with the full rundown of Hocus Pocus 2, which does mean the dreaded spoilers are ahead. Fear not, this magical barrier, spoiler warning, will protect thee, but only for a short amount of time. So if you're not ready for that, turn back now, mortals!
Surprise! This is the worst day of my life!
Now that we've got those dumb mortals out of the way, let's get down to Hocus Pocus 2. We go back to Salem in 1653, and it's Winifred's 16th birthday, and she's upset she's being forced to marry by the town leader, Reverend Trask, with the girl's parents seemingly dead and gone. When confronted by this decree again, she starkly refuses, and she's ordered to leave the town as her two younger sisters, Mary and Sarah, get taken away. Trask, played by Tony Hale, and the townsfolk get distracted by a huge spider Winifred's little sisters gifted her, and they all run into a clearing in the Forbidden Woods. There, they're about to get their souls eaten in a familiar method by a witch played by Hannah Waddingham, when she notices the girls are different. This is true, they're huge weirdos even in their pre-witch days. Since the 16th birthday is when a witch gets her powers, she shares the book, which you'll also recognize, and helps them on their new path, but makes Winifred promise to not use the power spell, Magicae Maxima.
Why?
Because I said so.
Besides, Book does not like it.
She promises, and then they go on their merry way and set the Reverend's house on fire. Oh no! Anyway, in the present day, exactly none of the 1993 characters return. We start with a trio of three teenage best friends, Becca, Izzy, and Cassie, though Cassie is no longer friends with the group because she did the teenage romance thing of ignoring everyone in favor of her relationship. It's Halloween, it's a full moon, it's Becca's 16th birthday, and the girls love vaguely Wiccan spell stuff, so they decide to go to the woods outside Salem and complete their yearly intentions ritual there with a weird-looking candle gifted to Becca by the local magic shop owner and Sanderson obsessive, Gilbert. What you think will happen, happens. The candle flame turns black and the Sandersons are once again brought back for the night and want to consume kids' souls, and they're singing The Witches Are Back, a play on Elton John's The Bitch Is Back. Becca and Izzy convince the Sandersons they're 40 and they can get pre-made life-giving child soul potion at the drugstore. They have a really fun sequence with automatic doors, the Sandersons eating lotion and sheet masks and photo filters. Eventually, they realize they've been had, but the girls get away with the help of a salt circle. The sisters take off on a broom, a Swiffer, and 2 Roombas.
The roomies are misbehaving!
Mary's just the best, right? Becca and Izzy run to Gilbert's shop for help and discover he tricked them into bringing the Sandersons back. Winifred's magic book showed him how to make another black flame resurrection candle, and he witnessed the Sandersons back when he was a kid in 1993 and has always wanted to bring them back. Why though? That is so weird. Their only goal is to kill everyone in the town you live in. That's messed up, man, but yeah. Didn't mention it before, but Gilbert's shop is the Sandersons' old house cleaned up, and he has their book and a cute black cat named Cobweb who is not the tortured spirit of a teenage boy. The Sandersons see a picture of Reverend Trask's descendant, who also happens to be the mayor, Cassie's dad, and in contrast to his ancestor, a very nice guy. The sisters curse Gilbert into gathering all the ingredients for Magicae Maxima so they can finally fulfill their goal of ruling Salem like their witch mother hoped for them. Gilbert runs into Billy Butcherson, still a zombie, while digging up his grave.
Well, I've been awake since... how long ago was 1993?
Apparently, he was just there being quiet for 29 years, which sounds terrible. The Sanderson sisters pursue Mayor Trask but run into the town Halloween carnival, which features a Sanderson sister look-alike contest. In the internal meta culture of this world, the Sandersons are very popular cultural icons still, and there are cheap costumes of them, just like in your real-world local Target. Hocus Pocus may also exist as a movie too, I'll get to that in the Easter egg section. They lose the contest to some Drag Race alums and women in the sexy versions of their look and decide to cast another spell song, a la I Put a Spell on You, from the first movie, now One Way or Another. To get them to track down the mayor, while they also seek Becca and Izzy. Becca and Izzy made it to Cassie's house, where the girls are kind of talking through their problems when the Sandersons burst in, wanting revenge. Becca protects them with the salt circle for the second time, but Mary's robotic vacuums free them by sweeping it all up. The sisters abduct Cassie, needing her Trask blood for their spell, and wouldn't you know it, Becca is a witch and is getting her powers today on her birthday. It's never really explained why or how, just nothing makes sense, don't worry about it. The Sandersons are working on their spell when they're confronted by baby witch Becca, and Sarah and Mary realize they have electrokinetic powers like Winifred now too. They're just as powerful, and Sarah stands up to Winnie.
I am not a fool. I am a good and loyal sister, and I expect to be seen as such!
Just a little bit before Becca tells the book, which has a personality I guess, it can make a choice and not complete Magicite Maxima. The girls hold hands and Becca's powers are strengthened, which they thought could be the case from reading Power is Meant to be Shared from the book. The book shows the girls a warning that in order for the power spell to work, the caster will lose what they value most as a trade-off for the power. And that's what happens. Winifred gets powered up, but Sarah and Mary fade away into dust as a trade. Winifred, emotional and heartbroken, begs the girls to cast a spell to reunite her with her sisters, willing to trade her powers to be with them. The girls do as she asks, but she disappears to join them instead of them getting restored. She seems at peace with that and says the girls are lucky to have each other, to which even the book sheds a tear. Finally, Billy the zombie also fades away into eternal rest with the Sandersons, and their spells finally ended for good. Why didn't he fade away when they did that the last time? I don't know. Don't ask. Anyway, the end. Except for the credits.
Guys, what do we do? I don't know.
The three teenage girls walk away in the same fashion as the Sandersons, with the bird form of the Mother Witch flying above. The Sandersons record "The Witches Are Back" in a meta way over the closing credits, and then we go back to Gilbert's shop. Cobweb the Black Cat, who was lampshaded as being Thackeray Binks the whole movie and who likes to drop into the scenes at dramatic times, stares directly down camera. Can't teach a cat to act. He hops up on a shelf next to a box that reads BF number 2 candle. There's another black flame candle! It's not totally over! Sorry, Billy! Hocus Pocus 2 had a lot of fun, which is pretty much exactly what the movie needed to be. There were several funny moments with the Sandersons being confused about the world, like the automatic doors at Walgreens drinking retinol lotion, Winifred testing scary ideas like the salt circle barrier on Sarah, again, like the idea of a paved road, Mary not finding a real broom, and more. What was different about this visit from the Sandersons is that there weren't any bullies present like in 1993. The mayor is a nice person, Mike the boyfriend is a pure idiot who feels sorry for making people feel bad, and even Gilbert isn't a jerk. The confrontation at the end isn't violent or frightening. Winifred loves and misses her sisters dearly. The girls help her, and she peacefully departs with words valuing friendship. It's really nice? Wholesome? I did miss some of the darker bits from 1993, like the whole praise Master Satan thing, but it was a nice revisit, and the door certainly isn't closed to more with the revelation that there's another black flame candle. Could there be a follow-up movie, maybe a mini-series? It seems like it's all possible, especially if the movie is a big success for Disney+.
Magic has a way of uniting things that ought to be together.
Okay, we'll need witch's butter, which is a fungus, Aralia berry, which is medicinal, and Easter eggs for our spell. Or maybe just Easter eggs. Here they are. Sarah and Mary made Winnie a really gross pig and goat gelatin mold for her birthday in 1653. It's really no grosser than any recipe in a 1960s cookbook like ham and mayonnaise mousse. seafood cheese lime aspic thing, or just a bunch of hot dogs and olives and brown jello. The girls have apparently been doing the calming circle their whole lives, and it seems their mother died some time ago, with their father, who owned an apothecary, having died somewhat more recently prior to Winifred's 16th birthday. Sarah's song, Garden of Magic, you know, came from the Mother Witch, and as a kid, she was the most drawn to it. The book the sisters receive has a spell on cat transformation, which they seem excited to use, unfortunately for Thackeray Binks. The first movie, Bullies, Jay and Ice almost certainly stole Gilbert's candy in 1993. It was their whole MO. The cause of all this was bullying. See? No bullies, tons of candy, everyone's happy. Mary calls her vacuum skates broomies, but they are in fact Shark brand robotic vacuum cleaners. She also says they hate mess, which seems a little modern for her, like a few other things she says, but okay, we can let that go. Speaking of Maryisms, she also says bye-bye as her last words once again, and barks like a dog. Becca, Izzy, and Cassie all wear matching gold necklaces with a medallion with the Sanderson sisters' main colors, green, red, and purple. At one point, Winifred peeks through a window and sees the original Hocus Pocus movie playing in the background. It's specifically the scene with the man in the devil costume and his Medusa wife with hair curlers, played by Gary and Penny Marshall. Does that mean the movie exists in this world? Is it somewhat fact-based? There are people wearing Sanderson costumes, possibly homemade or store-bought, but they seem to know what the Sandersons should look like. They could be based on the movie, in the movie, which is in fact accurate. Further on this point, Mayor Trask spots two people dressed as the Satan-costumed man and the curler-wearing woman near the candy apple stand. If you look closer in the one way or another dance sequence in the street, one of the people is dressed in the Mom's Red Madonna cone bra costume from 1993 as well. Again, is this costume referencing the movie within the movie, or our movie, or is the look just really iconic? The Sandersons say the word serious, which sounds like Siri, which wakes up the Alexa in the Trask home. Does that actually work? I don't have one. Mary calls Trask's Prius a small bus. This is because in 1993 the sisters explicitly learn what a bus is but don't really know what a car is. Trask in the same scene refers to the sisters as the Gothic Golden Girls, which, ouch. But the Golden Girls cast members were in their 50s and 60s when they started filming, so it's not a totally off-base statement. But what did you think of Hocus Pocus 2? Did you catch any more references to the original? Are they going to make another sequel? Don't you think the Mother Witch should have been in more scenes? Let's hear your best theories in the comments below. I'm Kim Horcher. Thanks for watching this episode of Canon Fodder, and for more Hocus Pocus, here's everything you need to know about those crazy Sanderson sisters. And don't forget to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch.